Hello, hola, bonjour, hey, y'all. My name is Merc. Welcome back to the Narc Alert. Hey, it's Saturday night, although it doesn't feel like nighttime because, we put those clocks back and it is sunny today. And it's about the sixth time we've had sun in 6 months. So I am digging the sunshine today. It's fantastic. Although it's freezing cold. Now, if Snork is here, she's in a much colder place than I am, so I can never say it's cold. But for us, it's cold. How is everybody? I'm so happy to see. Oh, look, I turned this on. I'm so happy to see you all here. And you see the man is the back, of course. Look at him. Bless his little face. There's... He tucked his head in just in time. He doesn't like YouTube anymore. Rio is, of course, enjoying his Walmart bag. Not sponsored. Rio's not sponsored by Walmart. But it's funny because I mentioned this and then, hey, Mr. Snork. Mr. Snork said their cat does the same thing. And then somebody else said their cat does the same thing. There's something about just the Walmart bags. Like I've got red bags from Longo's and Canadian Tire. I've got black bags from other places. But the blue bag from Walmart, I can't get rid of it because he adopts it. It's like his favorite thing. Do you guys with cats, have you ever noticed an affiliation with them in a Walmart bag? I don't know if it's the sound or the color. Canadian Tire. It's a big store. Matza in Canada, it's a big store. It doesn't sell just tires. Actually, the one near me doesn't even have tires. It's kind of like a Walmart with no food and no clothes. Kinda. Sarah's cats like IKEA bags. Well, they're also blue, right? Maybe it's the color. People try and return them with cat hair. Well, because the cats like the Walmart bags. Only the blue ones, Ludi. Only the blue ones. But I did check on cats and color blindness, and I think they see blue and green predominantly, so maybe it is the color. I don't know. Who's to say? Ella also likes IKEA bags. She lives in Sweden. Oh, Rio's digging in deep now. Doug's see blue and yellow predominantly. I think it's blue and green with cats. Emmy says, I'm pretty sure that cats can't see red, but they can see blue. Yeah, I think you're right, Emmy. I think that's what I read. And a whole bunch of you I noticed were like, oh my God, I can't believe I made it live. I'm so happy you're here. You have a new mod? No? Who's a new mod? Who's a new mod? I don't have a new mod. If there's a new mod, let me know. Don't be freaking me out, Jan. Oh, Val changed their name. You got to keep up, Jan. It's Valentine. Look at his picture. Look at his handsome mug on the picture. Javi was first, by the way. Javi's going to sleep. Javi, wake up. You were first. Yeah, if you're going to change your name, you got to keep your picture. Or if you're going to change your picture, you got to keep us a hint in your name or we don't know who you are. Ludi says Sweden is in the top 5 happiest countries to live in. They are. There's all kinds of those lists, though. It's really weird what they determine happiest and all that. But normally, Sweden, Finland, Norway, they're always up there. They're always up there. They treat people properly. So people are happy. Weird. That's odd. Although Costa Rica, there's some lists where Costa Rica is always on the top of the list. Like they even use that as one of their selling points, as it's the happiest place in the world or whatever. UK is down far the list. I forget. I looked on the list. I think Canada was pretty like 14th or something. It's okay, Jan. It's okay, Jan. You're on the lam. You're busy. We get it. In my head, Jan is like like a superhero, you know, like running from trains and riding on the top of a train and then jumping onto a bus, and like that's Jan. She's on the lam. Now that's how you're gonna see Jan too. Harper says, OMG, Utah is the most happy US state. I'm not American, so I don't get the joke or non-joke or the irony or whatever has to do with that. So I'll just let you Americans battle that one out in the comments. Did I have another note here? I wanted to say, Kai, you also tied with Javi. So Kai was right up there too. And I wanted to thank Ella for starting the Eurovision thread in the Discord this week. So if you guys are into the Eurovision thing, certainly drop into the Eurovision thread in Discord. Threads hide sometimes. So just ask somebody and they'll tag you or point you to it or whatever. I know Ruby's in Utah. I know. LDS, I know. She's our topic today, isn't she? Because Jan says, not far from the truth. I know. I love that. I've covered Ruby a number of times, as you know. Certainly more than once. And yesterday, all these jailhouse recordings were released. And they're, I guess I shouldn't say shocking, because should we be surprised at this? Probably not. But it's still shocking as a human being to hear the things that both of these women say are beyond outrageous. Beyond outrageous. Ludi says, I watched the 2020 about Ruby. Oh, she was on 2020? Holy cow, she made it to the big time. They've made it to the big time. Thank you, Ingeborg. I meant to say also thank you for the super chat. I missed a super chat from Ingeborg, who sent it before I started. So thank you, Ingeborg. Oh, I got to take the man off the screen to put this on, to put you up here. Scrolling. So there you go. Ingeborg says, Mr. Asper, teddy bear face. It says like in live chat. Don't forget the live chat, you guys. Can we put him on like this? Nope, no, that's not what we wanted. This. And then this. There we go. And Jace. Thank you so much, Jace, for the super chat. And Jace just popping in to say, of course, stay hydrated, you guys. Oh, I would be remiss in not reminding you that tomorrow is karaoke. And it's 80s themed karaoke. And as usual, I'm completely not ready. I picked out a few songs. I even just looked at, I went, oh, there's a list of some songs. And I haven't even practiced them. I'm never ready for karaoke, you guys. I will say that I want to thank you guys again for patience with me this week, because I missed a couple streams. Joan is, things with Joan are actually kind of okay right now. Although I'm incredibly busy taking care of things for her, dealing with nurses and PSWs and setting up day program things and all that. So it's just been kind of a real lot the last 10 days, coincidentally. It's been a real fun 10 days in my place, let me tell you. So it's been a lot dealing with all that stuff, but it is moving things in the right direction. So today was one of the first days she went to the day program on her own. So I didn't have to go. And she enjoyed it. She seemed to enjoy it. And she's in really good spirits when she came home today. And she's exhausted, which is great, because she won't sit around and be bored all night. So hopefully that's some positive notes about Ms. Dementia Face. And, it's just a hell of a lot easier all around the way. If she's a little more kind, then I have no problem bending over backwards to take care of her. And then things are just, it's cyclical and things are nicer, So, it's not going to change our relationship. It is what it is, but at least it's not killing me every day to do what I do as a caretaker. So holy cow, am I ever thankful for that. And I even said to her today, Mom, you don't know what it means to me. I'll try not to get choked up. When I'm out on Saturday at brunch and I think about you, and I don't think, oh, she's at home and she's lonely and she's bored, and I wonder if I can pick up something to make her feel better, because I always bring her treats and stuff. No, I don't have to think that. I think that and I go, oh, wait, no, she's at day program and she's having fun with friends. And it's so, it just feels so much better because, you know, despite our horribly contentious relationship my whole life, she's still my mom. You know, you can't change that. It's a very complicated situation. And all I got to say is, you know, I'll take, if it's a little bit, let me move this a little bit. Oops. I don't want you to see the haul. So that's my little catch up on that stuff. I got to tell you. So I'm really looking forward to Wednesday because I'm taking the day off and she's going to day program. So, you know, bugger the whole world. I'm taking a self-care day on Wednesday. Ingeborg saw my haul. I know you saw the cat litter in my haul. That's all you can see is the box of cat litter. And there's a calendar on my wall and it's probably 2 years old. You know, I just put it up there to make somebody. It was shocking. I know it's shocking, right? Look at it. It's filthy. It's a box of cat litter. I'm doxing my cat litter, Fluffy. Fluffy, you behave yourself, young Fluff. I don't have much to tell you. Harper Lee says, I get my surgery drains out on Wednesday and I can take a shower. Harper Lee, I'm so happy for you. God, what a journey it's been. Harper Lee's been like killing this journey, I might add. Has it been a year? It hasn't been much longer than a year that Harper's gone from needing help to getting help and now finally having skin removal surgery. Like, wrap it up with a bow, girl. Go kill it. Jen, you don't have a haul? I have a haul, okay? My apartment is gigantic. I have a haul. I have a postage size. You're seeing almost my entire apartment. The kitchen's over there, and you're seeing the bedroom. And then, of course, you know, the gigantic hall. I know. Kai, thank you for gifting 5 members. That's amazing. So generous. I hope, Kai, I was thinking, I hope you come to karaoke because we really love your accent. Cameron Mamenga says, hey, Merc, I missed you on Wednesday. Was worried something happened or I missed something. We'll catch you on the rewatch. Thank you, Cameron. No, what I have done is change the Wednesday stream to Thursday. Just because I need the day off and Joan is managed on Wednesday. So it's really to my benefit to take advantage of that time. So I'm changing the Wednesday stream to Thursday. That's just what's happening here. And then, as I said, sometimes it's in the next few weeks, this is going to happen where I might miss some streams. Aaliyah, thank you so much for gifting 5 members. Holy cow, we're building up the army. Oh, that's the other thing I got to tell you guys. You know, we're not going to talk about it because it's so fucking boring and it's done. But this week has been a lot. There's been a lot going on this week in our little alert world. But one of the things that has been going on in our alert world is Merc hit the 23,000 subscriber mark. So I'd like to thank you all for your amazing support. You know, 23K, baby. Could we be going up faster? Sure. But we keep just going up and up. So thank you all. It is amazing. And especially given the climate this week, it makes me very, very happy to see that. So thank you so much for that. Miss Tomato Jam wants me to remind you, if you're new alerts and you get into the Discord, there is an introduce yourself thread. And if you go and drop in there, you don't have to. If you're shy, you don't have to. But if you want to go in there and drop your name and say hello and maybe some stuff you like, and you know, Miss Tomato Jam, our Southern Belle, is going to pull up with her welcome wagon. She's got some sweet tea. She might have some maple syrup if that's your thing. And she's going to welcome you and tell you about the Discord and the places you might want to hang out. Because our Discord has a lot of different areas of interesting things going on. as well as streaming almost every night movies. And thank you, Kai, for gifting another member. Kai, you don't have to do that. Lightning bug? Nah. I know, 23. So let's look for 25. I guess it'd be the next. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with 24 either, but 25 is kind of like a big number, right? We'll see. If it happens, that's fantastic. Fluffy, thank you for gifting a member. We've talked about it before, but we really want to start playing Scrabble again. Some of us kind of did it in a little, the admin, the mods, we kind of did a little Scrabble on our own the other day. Don't tell anybody. And it was a lot of fun. So I'd love to start doing Scrabble again in the Discord. We used to do it all the time. Kai says job. Oh gosh, we used to do job all the time. Maybe we should bring back a job. Maybe we should do job once a month. We used to do it too much and we really wore it out, but it's been a long time. Marigold, thank you for the super chat. Marigold says, it's been a week, girly pop, but we're still here. Thank you, Marigold. Yeah, it has been a week. The only thing I'll speak to about this week is I am still really quite appalled at the amount of ageism and age shaming that's still going on in my comments section. Blows me away. Really blows me away. In a community where we fight so hard for the equality for things for people that can't change things, like whether you're gay or a person of color and or whether you're 60, which is fine. The age comments, they don't hurt me. I don't like that it seems to be acceptable. I don't think it's acceptable. It's dumb. It's just stupid. You know how many people told me to get off YouTube because I'm too old? What's that about? YouTube never told me there was an age limit. And I've been told I should be baking cookies for grandkids. You know what? I don't have any grandkids because I don't want any damn kids. And you know what? I've baked more than enough fucking cookies in my life as a pastry chef. So now I just want to smoke some pot and hang out on YouTube and maybe go to the Amazon and feed some children, if that's okay. We got to stop the ageism, guys. It's really stupid. It's so out of pocket. But it doesn't bother me. I don't fucking care. It's stupid. I think if you're mocking somebody's age, that maybe you're just afraid to get old. And if you're afraid to get old, then maybe you should put more stock in your value. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. You want to be 60 like I'm 60. How about let's say that? That's all I'm going to say about that. Tonight, what we're going to discuss, also bear with me, the lighting is weird in here. We put the clocks back so it's bright, but it's going to get dark. My live sign is on, but you can barely see it. We're going to talk about Ruby Frankie. She's not fun, and she's certainly not funny. And Fluffy, thank you for your member chat. I missed it. I'm sorry I missed it. I didn't mean to miss it. There it is. Fluffy says 11 months, almost a year, almost ready to blow out our 1-year anniversary candle. Swamp Boogie Sue, thank you for your member chat. Swamp. Oh, Jan, Ruby is frightening. She sure is. I clicked the wrong thing. I wanted to click this. Thanks, Jen. Love you, Merc. Thank you, Swamp. I'm older and we're both hot. It's not about, I don't care about that. Like I said, those comments, they don't bother me. I don't care. Are you telling me something I don't know, that I'm old? Yeah, if I'm old, I'm 60. Eat shit. I don't care. Swedish Mom, thank you for the hearts, the super sticker. Thank you very much. AKA Heather Joy, thank you for the super sticker. Oh, be careful. You'll just get shamed for being old for supporting me. You know how this community's rolling these days. We're mad. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on that. It's dumb. And, being prehistoric as I am, my time on Earth is limited, so I don't want to spend it on that. Oh my goodness gracious. So anyway, Ruby, Frankie, and Jodie Hilderbrand. What a pair. What a pair. I don't think we need to recap. I'm sure most of you know all about the Ruby Frankie stuff. If you haven't watched my videos, you could watch one of 20 million other excellently done videos on YouTube about Ruby Frankie and Jodie Hilderbrand. But as I mentioned yesterday, the Jailhouse phone calls were released. And they're kind of appalling. Now, I'm a little concerned because the best video of this is from the Law and Crime Network, and I don't know if they copy claim. So I'm going to do my best to make this transformative and within the rules and take as many breaks as I can, because I know I'm recently understanding some new stuff with YouTube, and it really is about how long you let a section play without commenting. So I'm going to have to take a lot of frequent breaks so we make sure that this is legit, because we don't want to be breaking any rules here, right? Thank you, Kai, for gifting another member. Kai's building a little army. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat. Fluffy says they saw one channel that did a 6-hour video. I couldn't watch a 6-hour video. That's too much. That's too much. I have the attention span of a teenager. 6 hours would be way too much. You got Connor? Oh, good. I can't. I'm just keep playing with this thing and I keep turning this light on. I'm sorry. Get it away from me. Fidgety. So anyway, I have this video from Law and Crime Network. I'm going to pause it a lot. That's what I'm saying. That's what all that was saying. Talio says, I'm not impressed by the fact that kids are honest. Her kids, Ruby's kids? I should get a fidget spinner. No, you know what I have? And I haven't used it in a long while, but I'm fidgety today. I usually have a sloth. My stupid childish sloth bracelet. That's what I fidget with. Thanks, Tomato Jam. If you want to watch my one of my Ruby videos, go watch it on TNA2 so we can get the hours. Here's the deal. If we can, I know the Christmas sloth, but I usually tuck his Christmas hat in so you can't see his Christmas hat. Listen, I've said it before, and I said it before all of this stuff. As soon as we can get monetized on TNA2, we're not going to be doing, we're going to get out of this world and do more of other stuff. Oh, Talio says, I meant in terms of young people and their honesty about telling us that we're old. Yeah. Well, thank God they tell us. How would we know? How the hell would we know? Why am I suddenly so confident and sure of myself? I don't understand. Oh, it's because I'm old. Right. Okay. Thanks. Anyway, like I said, I don't even want to give that conversation a whole lot of life. I just want it to stop. You can say whatever you want. Just that's illegal. Quite frankly, it's against YouTube terms of service. So, anyway. Do you, Jan? Let me know. Kai, thank you for gifting another member. Kai is on a little kick tonight. Kai's on a little kick tonight. Let me just make this biggie big. Hello, Marion Ann Bays. That's tricky to say. Hello, Marion. Oh, headphones. So there's very little commentary from the Law Network people in this video. It's just really a lot of the footage. And some of it is a little hard to hear, so I will put the subtitles on. I know it might be still a little small, but we'll work our way through it. Patricia, also known as a delicate lady with a delicate life. Hello, Patricia. Jan says Kai thinks we don't notice the army building. Kai, We see you. All right, Miss Tomato Jam says trigger warning. Thank you, Miss Tomato Jam, for reminding me that I should be saying that. There, look, now you get the litter in between the two screens. It's fantastic. Yes, absolutely. Trigger warning. This is uncomfortable material. If you don't know the story already, it's about children who've been abused by their mother and her friend. They're now in jail. They've been sentenced to many years, although you can't have a litter cam right now because I got to clean that box out as soon as the stream is over. I just did Jones, and I just didn't feel like doing this one right now. Do it after the stream. So this starts from the video when the little boy went to get help. Now, heartbreakingly enough, he went to one house first, and they didn't answer the door. Whether they were home or not, it sounds like they were home, but, you know. I make... Talio and Joan. No. I don't make my mother use a litter box. It's my mother's cat, okay? You guys are so fucking funny. Oh, I don't know what to do without you guys to make me laugh.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my
She would forget where the box is, let's be honest.
front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house. And we know there's been problems at this neighbor's house.
Does he know his mom's name?
What's your mom's name? Ruby Frankie?
Adults have a really hard time understanding that children can be full of evil. I know this sounds crazy.
Did you hear that?
My finger on why.
That's just a little, you know how they give you a little... Let's just get to, instead of all the primer that they're going to put in here. Adults have a hard time remembering that children can be evil, okay? Adults have a hard time remembering that.
1961 North U1 Drive in Ivans.
I don't need to hear this guy cry about the child again. It's a little triggering, and we've all heard it. Is it still low? Is it still too low? Oh my gosh, of course it's low. Look how low this is. You guys. Better now, right? Watch. Let's see.
He said he just left through the porch at the neighbor's house. Her name is Jodie Hilderbrand.
That's better, right? Is better? Jeez. Sentencing is really weird in Utah. It's the same? Ingeborg says it's good. Snork. It's the same. What's wrong with my mods? Are you deaf because you're old? How can it be the same? It's not. Like, this is volume all the way up. And I've got my volume all the way up.
And she lives 2 doors up the street. Yeah, out here in Cayenne, the houses are far apart, so he walked just under a block to get to our house. He rang my doorbell and asked me to call the police. But he's very thirsty and...
Need an ambulance?
I don't think he needs an ambulance. I'll let the cops decide that, but his ankles are taped up and he won't tell us why.
So that's the original 911 call, right? Oh, Snork's volume was low. Oh, that's okay. I don't need to hear this poor man crying about this child's pain. You know, we've heard this.
He's been detained.
Oh, yeah, that's the part we don't need to hear.
Do you know where your mom and dad are?
So he said his father was far away, but he knew where his mom was, and he said his name was Ruby Frankie. Her name. This is I'll let this play. It's a little bit more of details about. They asked him if there was any other kids in the house, and he said his sisters were there, but he says his sisters were okay and they could walk around and they weren't injured.
Yeah, this is the 30th of, or excuse me, the 29th of August.
It'll be the 30th of August.
10 and 14, and they're still at this house.
Are they tied up as well?
What's the deal with your sisters? Are they?
This poor man.
Are they being?
This poor man. His heart was. You can tell, right? He was so shook by this, for lack of a better stupid word. And he's trying to be so gentle with the boy. Like I thought the way he worded that was so cautious, so as to not upset the boy, right? Like, so what's the deal with your sisters? I just thought it was a kind little thing, you know?
Hell, do they have wounds on them as well?
Nothing bad going on with us.
Okay. Okay. So they're able to walk around the house and everything? Well, okay. He says everything's fine with them. Grain of salt.
Yeah, Ingeborg, I believe he was it was a form of discipline, right?
Purgatory correction.
Okay. This is Ruby's call. This is what I want to hear. We've heard that call before. This is the new stuff. So this is, I guess I'll go back and let the dramatic.
Herself just one day after her arrest.
This is a call from and paid for by
Ruby, thank you. Purgatory correction.
an inmate at Purgatory Correctional Facility.
It's very funny that the Correctional Institute, they're just called Purgatory. There's a delicious irony in that, is there not? And this is a phone call that she made one day after she was arrested, okay? So this was her mindset one day after she was arrested.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring. If you don't wish to talk, hang up now.
After less than 24 hours in jail, Ruby makes a call to her husband, Kevin, who reminds her the call is being recorded.
Okay, well, you know that this phone call is being recorded.
Yes, that will come out. That will come out.
This is a phone call to her husband, Kevin.
I don't know about me. I don't know what he's talking about. But
In early conversations with Kevin, Ruby calls her arrest a witch hunt.
I'm wondering if they went to Sherry to ask her questions.
I don't know.
These bookings are public.
I know they are. And
unbelievable.
A couple months ago, Business Insider was reaching out to me, and I ignored their email. But I'm going dark.
This is a witch
I'm not
hunt.
at BYU. I'm not at BYU anymore, so I don't know how they're going to find me.
So he left Brigham Young University so nobody could find him. He says, this is the day after her arrest. He says, he's going dark. And she says, this is a witch hunt. I wonder if they went to Sherry. A witch hunt? How is it a witch hunt?
Yeah. Maybe it was a blessing. This is a witch hunt. The devil's been after me for years.
At first, Frankie doesn't show.
The devil's been after me for years, okay? I'm trying to skip the commentary from the Law and Order channel or the Law and Crime channel so we don't get in trouble.
Figured such.
Or release.
Sorry, this is messy. I should have edited it first, I guess. I'll just let it play.
See what it takes to fight evil. It's not the person you're fighting. And it can look like something it's not.
I'm sorry, I missed too much there.
I'm going dark.
This is a witch
I'm not
hunt.
at BYU. I'm not at BYU anymore, so I don't know how they're going to find me.
Yeah, maybe it was a blessing. This is a witch hunt. The devil's been after me for years.
At first, Frankie doesn't show any remorse, saying children can be full of evil.
Adults have a really hard time understanding that children can be full of evil and what that takes to fight it.
What? I'm sorry, what? Really? Adults have a hard time remembering how full of evil the children are. Okay, the devil has been after this woman for years, clearly living in the bodies of her children, who've been nothing but satanic and deserved to be beaten, right? What the fuck color is the sky in her world? My God. Her daughter forgot to pack her lunch because she's evil. Yeah, her 6-year-old daughter.
You've seen what it takes to fight evil. It's not the person you're fighting. And it can look like something it's not. And you've been there, you know that.
So now she's saying that she's been fighting evil and it's come to her in the form of her children. So, but evil is scary because sometimes it doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like. And then that's why she's being, I guess really she's being more scapegoated than witch hunted. Idiot.
And so I don't know any adults who are going to see the truth. So I'm calm about this, and I just pray that you'll hang in there.
The next day, Ruby speaks with Kevin again and even defends Jodie Hilderbrand.
The most upsetting thing is that I am completely misunderstood. That is the most horrible feeling. Like my own family misunderstands me. They misinterpret me. And poor Jodie, they misinterpret her. They misunderstand her. She puts her neck out on the line for people.
Nobody understands these women. They are so good, okay? They give and give and give, and people just misinterpret them. They're truly misunderstood. It's heartbreaking. And Jodie. Well, poor Jodie. Let's hear what she has to say about poor, delicate Jodie Hilderbrand.
Completely misunderstood. That is the most horrible feeling. Like my own family misunderstands me. They misinterpret me. And poor Jodie, they misinterpret her. They misunderstand her. She puts her neck out on the line for people, and then they get mad at her. I mean, it is just horrendous. It's horrendous.
Ruby seems to realize the legal implications ahead, but still blames the entire situation on Satan.
He's 35 years in this, and he said, even if you are acquitted and are released, they will place legal restrictions on your access to the under 18 children.
I figured such.
Yeah, thank
God
they're putting that on the under 18-year-old children. Did she get taped in her room? No, it's a jailhouse phone call. They're taped. They're recorded, and it was legally released. It's not a leak, not a dox.
me.
Sorry.
God told me when I was driving before I called you. I didn't have any information. I didn't know anything. And the Spirit said, your children are going to be removed. And I cried out loud. I'm like, no, I'm not done. I'm not ready.
The Spirit said it.
And God told me I'm done. And I just,
So, what?
Satan has taken everything away from me that I love.
I don't remember. I must have skipped over the part where she said she felt really bad for all the shit that her children are going through. Did you hear that part? Did I miss that? Did it go too fast and I wasn't paying attention? I don't recall her ever saying a damn word about the children here. Me, Satan. Me, Satan. Idiot.
And I'm a good woman. I don't do naughty things.
Naughty.
I don't do naughty things.
Listen, do some naughty things. There's nothing wrong with a little naughty. Gaffer taping your children to radiators is not naughty. It's criminal. Okay? There's a difference. Idiot.
I'm a really good girl.
You're not
But
a
the
good...
next
No,
time we hear from Ruby
you're
in
not.
late October, she's changed her tune.
I can't say everything that I want to say, but I really did feel like the arrest was like a rescue. Like I just felt so many angels around, and it was like a relief. It was just really kind of surreal.
Now she's saying being arrested was a relief because there was so many angels around it. It was a rescue, you guys. Poor, delicate, little tiny Ruby. She couldn't save herself. She needed to be rescued in the form of this arrest.
Real kind of strange. But I just keep thinking about, President Nelson's talk, things celestial, and I know he said in the past about myopic thinking, and he's given a lot of context to, how small this life really is, and I'm just so grateful. How many people,
What?
will go to the grave not having woken up, and I want to use this time.
This is ridiculous. She's grateful for this time because so many people go to the grave not having woken up. But being rescued by this arrest has woken her up. It's like, bitch, yeah, exactly. You weren't Vanessa Atalanta. Says, no, lady, they didn't rescue. They rescued your children. Also, they didn't rescue, they arrested. Exactly, Jack.
And I am using this time to change, to repent, and to do what I can to.
I know their faces aren't blurred. We're watching this live. It's the video comes from Law and Crime, and these are vlogs that she's had online already. So I'm sorry that I didn't take the time to pre-blur this video, but it's kind of out there already, right?
But the Lord, no, I love him and my family. And I've had many experiences here to kind of guide my thinking.
A month later,
She had-
Ruby says time away from Jody has cleared her head.
She had many experiences in jail that helped her. Hey, Chris in real life. Boom, I want to give you a little shout out. I watched your video and it was very good. If you haven't watched, I know we're talking about this and we might be really bored about all this, but Chris in real life has a YouTube channel, and you need to go subscribe to them because their videos are very good and they understand HIPAA, and they had a very excellent take on the situation of last week. So please go throw Chris in real life some support. And while I'm thinking of that, I also wanted to shout out to the ankle, because I watched an ankle video and I was peeing my pants laughing at them. So if you want to go watch a funny reactor, go watch the ankle, because my God, they're funny. And also there was, what's the other one, Snork? What was the one? Tiny blue anthropologist or something? Was that it? Let me check here. Tiny blue. Yeah, I got it right. Tiny blue anthropologist. I don't necessarily agree with everything they said, but excellent take on it. I don't have to agree with everything you say. We're allowed to disagree on things. You're allowed to not like me or have a different take on how I present things than I think I do. That's fair. But I think their take was excellent on a lot of points. And they talked a lot about a book called Power and Manipulation and how it applied to Amberlyn Reed. And I thought it was very profoundly interesting. The manipulation station. Sorry, guys. I will just say this, by perpetuating this non-news, she's really made everybody completely skip over the Crystal video. So if you want to remind yourself how she manipulates, just think about that. Anyway, woot woot for the ankle and Chris in real life, okay?
I could not come out of this without his grace, without his mercy, without his help. This has been the strangest and the most.
Oh, Chris is a member
miraculous
now. Welcome,
intervention.
Chris. Welcome to the club. Don't get too close because, you know, you'll get in trouble.
It put everybody where they needed to be. It separated me from Jodie, so I'm not hearing her. And I think just being gone and not hearing her has cleared a lot of things up for me.
Ruby and Jody both pleaded guilty to all.
So here she's throwing Jodie under the bus, right? She has a month away from Jodie and she's good as gold now because it was all Jodie. You know, poor Ruby, she's been battling against the devil for a long time. And then Jodie comes in and influences her. Poor, delicate Ruby with no mind or thought of her own. Bless. No, I don't want to go too far.
Did you see that Jodie pled guilty today?
I did see that. Yes. Is that a relief for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big relief.
Sorry, I just want to not miss this. Sitting Duck, thank you so much for your 8-month member chats. As always, appreciate your ability to see nuance. Thank you. The world is a lot more interesting when you see it with nuance. How about that, right? You get a lot more views of things. That's all I'm saying.
It's a big relief.
Actually, Shrimp, hang out long enough and you'll get gifted. They do a lot of membership gifting in here. They're a pretty nice group of people.
There would have been positive the other way too. Had she not pled guilty, there's enough evidence that she could have been convicted for life. But that would have been messy. It would have been really messy, and the kids would have. So.
What? The kids would have what?
So do you and her get the same outcome no matter what now, or is there a chance that it would be different?
That's a really good question. That's one that I've asked Lamar. No, we can still have different outcomes.
They had exactly
Ruby
the same.
theorizes that Jodie pleaded guilty because she knew.
They certainly, what happened coming up to the trial, we're not even at the good part of the phone calls yet, you guys. They get good. They were given, Utah is odd with their sentencing. They were charged, they could have had 30 years, but they only got 20 each because they were found guilty on 4 counts, but they served for 3 or something. I don't know. You people in Utah will understand better than I. But yeah, bottom line is they're both going to be in jail for a hell of a long time. Like, well, you know, they might be my age when they get out. No, they'll be older than that.
But I think in the interview, it's going to be apparent that she's mentally ill. And so that will affect how long someone, you know, because they're looking how repentant are you? How much responsibility are you taking? How are you aware that what you've done is wrong? And she's not. She's the only reason she pled is because she didn't want to do life.
What the hell? Why did you plead? Then why did you plead? Because you did the same plea. You did exactly the same thing. They made the same plead and they got the same sentencing. And quite frankly, she should have got more. She's their damn mother. She's their mother. She's the one that is supposed to protect them. Thank you, Kai, for gifting another member. See, Kai's trying to get you. I forget who said that now. I'm sorry. Oh, actually a shrimp. Kai's trying to get you shrimp. And then she also has to throw in there too that she's mentally disturbed. It's like, well, then why were you listening? Why are you letting this woman run your life for the last couple of years if she's mentally disturbed?
You knew I would testify.
Then Ruby reveals the last time she spoke to Jody was the day of her arrest.
When was the last time you talked to her? Was it that day?
It was when we were arrested. Yeah, I left early in the morning to go to a dentist appointment with Julie. We left at like 3 in the morning, and she called me
Rio's gone.
sometime in the morning, and so I went back down. But when I got to the house, I mean, it looked like the movies. There was a red fire truck. There was a black van with.
Kai, thank you so much. Did we get them? Oh, you got Ty.
Tinted windows.
Ty's always hanging around. Ty's good to grab a membership.
There were 2 ambulances. There were 20 cop cars. I mean, it was.
That must have been
Did
scary.
you just sit in your car?
No, I pulled up and found a spot to park. She lives on a cul-de-sac. I parked in the cul-de-sac, and I walked up, and the driveway.
Kaza, thank you for pointing that out. I noticed that because I pre-screened this and listened to it all first, and I got really stuck on that, and then now I just missed it. She did say they left to go to the dentist at 3 a.m., and why the hell would you do that? It's so weird. Like, isn't the earliest any dentist is going to be open is maybe 7 a.m.? I doubt 7, but maybe 7. Kai, thank you for gifting members. Kai's really trying to get shrimp a membership. Kai, you don't have to do that. Thank you so much for being so crazy and generous. Yeah, 3 a.m. Let's listen to that because it's weird, right? Here it is.
When we were arrested. Yeah, I left early in the morning to go to a dentist appointment with Julie. We left at like 3 in the morning, and she called me.
They left at 3 a.m.? So you're waking your child up at 2 a.m. to go to the dentist? Emergency dentist, night shift? Oh, maybe. Putu, that's a good point. Maybe it was an emergency dentist that we're being very generous with Ruby right now. It sounded like an appointment, though, the way she said it to me, but
Sometime in the morning, and so I went back down. But when I got to the house, I mean, it looked like the movies. There was a red fire truck. There was a.
So we heard this. She describes there's a red fire truck. There was a big black van. There was 20 police cars, and she got out and she walked to the end of the cul-de-sac and talked to them. So.
And I walked up, and the driveway was just full of cops, and I just walked up to the cops.
Tally, Jodie Hilderbrand's house was. It's deceiving because that picture makes it look like it's in the middle of nowhere. But I was watching a podcast talking about it when it happened, and somebody thought it looked in the middle of nowhere, and everybody else was familiar with the area said, no, it's not. Like, if you zoomed out a little bit, you'd see there's houses all around there. It's just, they do have some space, but it's still a neighborhood. And I don't think that Ruby lived in that same neighborhood. I think that's just where Kai. I was reading Kai's gifted membership. I think that's just where Jody lived. Thank you, Kai, for gifting another member. I can't do 2 things at once, you see.
And they said, are you the mother? And I nodded my head, and so they took me and put me in the casita, and I sat there for a couple hours I just sat there.
Ruby then explains that with time, she got a clearer picture of what really happened. But Ruby Frankie's jailhouse calls aren't the only ones we're hearing, as long crime.
Yeah. Jody has a couple phone calls released too. Again, I'm just trying to skip enough of this so we're definitely within fair use.
Kids are being
Okay, that's her.
easy, but it
Former business partner Jodie Hilderbrand is showing.
Before we start this, I just want to say a little, what do we call them? Kai, thank you. One more worm, Kai says. I don't remember what I was going to say. I truly just blanked right out there.
Abuse inflicted upon Frankie's children.
A little spoiler. Jodie Hilderbrand thinks she's Jesus Christ.
but it was like everything got taken out of the house and it's in a storage unit so that I could come to jail. It sounds crazy, but it really feels that way. And I don't know if I'm going to be like some kind of example, but when I get out of here, I have a story to tell, and I'm going to try to do everything I can to protect the children, because that's what's happening. It's like,
sweetie, you're not going to get out of there, though. You're not going to get it. The children don't need you to defend them. Thanks. They're okay.
Kids are being just horribly abused, and instead of the kids. Anyways, it's a story, but when you come, I'll tell you about it.
So what I'm saying is you're being crucified in public opinion, so your fear has to be super prepared. And the only way he's going to get prepared is if you push him and ride him.
Okay, I will. I'll call him today. He doesn't.
So you better push and ride your lawyer, because the court of public opinion is against you. You pay your lawyer, right? Oh, happy Palm Sunday, Mary. And it's the morning for Mary because Mary is in the Philippines. Oh, very religious country too. I bet it's a big do. I bet it's a big to-do, the Palm Sunday celebration. Have a lovely, blessed day.
Seem really animated. He seems like, the pictures are going to destroy you. And I'm like, we didn't do that. Those pictures we did not do. He did that to himself, yes. Did we put that on him?
I don't know what picture she's talking about.
And cut himself, yes. But we didn't do that.
In a later phone call, Hilderbrand.
So now she's saying there's some pictures, and I think from what I gather, it's some kind of a photographic evidence of the abuse. And here she's just saying that the kid did it himself. He did it to himself. Like they did part of it, but then he made it look a lot worse for the pictures, right?
Okay, I will. I'll call him today. He doesn't seem really animated. He seems like, the pictures are going to destroy you. And I'm like, we didn't do that. Those pictures we did not do.
No,
he did that to himself, yes. Did we put that on him and then he rubbed around and cut himself? Yes, but we didn't do that.
Can we say runt 100 times? And can we put the C in there? Are you kidding me? I only put the gaffer tape around the child. It's not my fault that it moved. The child moved around and created problems from my bondage. Are you kidding me? Thank you, Vanessa, for gifting 5 memberships. Are you kidding me? She's a monster.
In a later phone call, Hilderbrand can be heard visibly emotional, but still defending her actions.
Nightmare here, Janet. Nobody wants the truth. Nobody wants the truth. Nobody wants the truth because these kids.
We are all living in distortion. She is the only God warrior that has the honest truth.
Well, Doug,
I woke up, the spirit told me, it's all the devil. I mean, you've seen him. I mean, I've known you, what, for 5 years? You've watched him come at me, come at me, come at me, come at me. And you're exactly right, because he knows I know.
I'm really sorry that we can't hear the other side of this conversation, who she's talking to. Because right now she's talking about children coming at her. Okay? In case you missed that.
These kids, I told Doug, I woke up, the spirit told me, it's all the devil. I mean, you've seen him. I mean, I've known you, what, for 5 years? You've watched him come
Those
at
children.
me, come at me, come at me, come at me. And you're exactly right, because he knows I know what he's doing. And he uses these kids. And he uses all of us as the adults, the parents that don't hold the kids accountable. So now it's abusive to make a kid sleep on the floor. It's abusive. Or it's abusive to, it's ridiculous.
I love how she skips over anything else. I found that very profound. Putu, thank you very much. You can get some rest. I just found the wording very careful and profound. Because, yeah, well, number one, it is abusive to make a child sleep like that on the floor. It's different if it's a sleepover and they want to. That's different, of course. But what they were doing was abusive. And then she says, so it's abusive to make them sleep on the floor. Or it's abusive. Well, she just knows over, restraining them with gaffer tape. Tying them to radiators. Are those the details that you're just knowing over here, Jody? Because, yeah, that is abusive, you stupid runt. Thank
Ridiculous.
you. Butterfly, thank you. Excuse me. Butterfly, thank you very much for gifting a membership. That's very kind.
Can't even raise your kids anymore.
In a February recorded call after Hilderbrand
Butterfly
pleaded
caught a
guilty,
lizard.
she refers to Bible scripture while leaving a coded message to a man she's speaking with on the phone.
So there's a section he's talking about.
Remember how I said she thinks she's Christ? This is the part. This is the part. This is so delicious. I was like, my jaw hung open when I heard this.
Coming. And, I'm coming from this place of, I was just getting ready to move, and all of a sudden I ended up in prison. What in the world?
Hey,
and,
hey, Jody, you don't have to move now. You don't have to worry about packing or anything. You're good. You're moved right in already. Glass half full, baby.
You'll know all the details, and it'll all make sense. But if I could talk in code here. So he said, this is the Lord talking to the disciples. They asked him,
the Lord,
when shall these things be? Like, when are these things going to come to pass? And so he starts talking to him about the last days. And he says that nation shall war against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And then he goes, but before all these that he just talked about, they shall lay their hands on you. Now, I have been praying for 5 months, explain this to me, what is going on? I'm willing to go there, but please let me go right side up. If you want me to be there because you want me to be there, then great. I will not resist it at all, but please.
So in this quote that she's comparing to her life, that she's using as a synonym, I guess, for her. Synonym, is that the right word? What's the word I'm looking for, you guys? As a allegory? Allegory works, but it's not the word I'm looking for. Anyway, this story, metaphor, thank you, Ella, metaphor. In the beginning of the story, they talk about nation against nation going to war. Well, she just blah, blah, blah. She just what's the Seinfeld thing? She just yada, yada, yadas over the world nation stuff and gets right to the personal, how she's like Jesus. Or the Lord, actually.
Understand.
Because before the nations came falling, they said the Lord saw in a vision that they're going to come and put their hands on him. And, well, they put their hands on her. Same thing.
So I read this morning, and I just wept and just thanked him and thanked him because it just all click. So he says, but before all these things, nation rising against nation, they shall lay their hands on you. And I'm like,
oh, that's me.
And prosecute you.
And at one point, she said she's happy to go to prison.
Did you hear the exclamation? Oh, Just like me. Are you kidding me? You really think that abusing a child is akin to anything that the Lord did? I'm not particularly religious, but I certainly respect all of that. Oh my God, I'm just like God. I'm actually walking the same path as the Lord. You moron.
It says, and ye shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren
See?
and kinsfolk and friends. I'm like,
There it is.
oh my gosh, it's exactly what's going
Exactly
on.
what's going on.
And some of you shall be caused to be put to death, and you shall be hated by all men for my name's sake. And then he goes on to say, and I've read that before, but like I've never been in prison. But I just read that, and I just wept. I mean, the Spirit was like, he just said, this is you. So then
The Spirit came to her and said, this is you. This story of the Lord's betrayal at the, I assume, I don't know. That's her. That's her.
I read in Mark.
What do you say to that?
That was in Luke, and I read in Mark the same kind of thing, because the Gospels, they wrote similarly.
From my understanding, now please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the 4 books of the Bible, are the same story but told from different perspectives, each told from Matthew's, Mark, Luke, and John's perspective, more or less. I think I'm right about that. So she finds this passage in one of the Gospels, and she likes it so much she's got to go reaffirm for herself. She reads it. Well, yeah, of course it's the same in the other Gospel. They're the same thing, more or less, aren't they? Correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm not a particularly religious person, but from my simple Catholic upbringing, I seem to recall Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were basically the same stories told from different people's perspectives. So yeah, you're going to find it in all 4 books, basically.
Now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son. Like the father will betray the son. And the children shall rise up against their parents and shall cause them to be put to death.
Oh my God, it's just like her.
That statement right there.
Look, it's just like her.
Is what's going on with me.
The children are rising up, and this is it. Guys, it's undisputable.
Shall rise up and put their parents to death, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Wow.
I probably cried for an hour straight. Just everything.
Jodie was shooketh.
Clicked.
Clicking.
And I said, I'm happy to go to prison.
Now she's,
because if you continue to,
she's following the path of the Lord. She's happy to bow down now and go to prison. I didn't hear anywhere I'm sorry for the children. I didn't hear anywhere I have remorse. Like, not even like I think I was right, but I'm sorry that the kids, and like nothing about the kids here. Like, does she get why she was charged and arrested? Because of child abuse? It's unbelievable.
you read the rest of the chapter, he's like, be grateful. If you're in this situation, be grateful because you're one of them, and you will be saved. And this is, yeah.
Skier Doc says, that passage was referring, I'm going to put you up here because it's easier to see. That passage was referring to what was actually happening at the time the Gospels were being written. She doesn't know that? Gross lack of historical education. And she's a highly religious person too, isn't she? Or claims to be. Yeah, but Skier, it's also what happened to her. It's the same. Same.
So I have just been begging him, like, you've got to explain this to me. Like, I cannot logically figure out what's going on here. And that's it. That's what's going on. And the Spirit,
When I was previewing this earlier, I found that one of the scariest things she said, and it was so simple, and it just almost snuck by me, and I thought, wow, that's really scary. Yeah, Kai, I will be confused about the Dino Jesus because I saw it, but I couldn't keep up with it. This line right here. This line right here. I find this the scariest thing. Here, listen, Ingeborg. Listen. Well, all of you, not just Ingeborg. I'd like it, if you'd all listen. I just found this scary.
You've got to explain this to me. Like, I cannot logically figure out what's going on here.
I found that terrifying because she sounds real sincere about it. I cannot logically figure out what's going on here. You gaffer tape children to a radiator, you stupid runt. What are you having a problem with? She can't understand what's going on here, guys. She was disciplining some children that were full of Satan. It's scary, right?
And that's it. That's what's going on. And the spirit, I mean, when I feel the spirit, I have two physiological reactions. I get really like shaky, like I'm shivering, like I'm cold.
That's probably just low blood sugar. You just need to maybe grab a snack. Have an orange. Orange.
Feel heat, like I have a fever run through me.
No, have an orange. That'll help.
And I was like burning up. It felt like I was burning up. And I was just shaking with gratitude, like, here's your answer. Here's what this is. But in 1 Peter chapter 4,
keep quoting, baby.
Verses 12 and 19.
I missed it earlier, and I meant to read it out because I thought it was a lovely comment about bingo, about scripture bingo. I'm sorry I missed that because it was very funny. Here it is, Skier Doc. Skier Doc, you're on point today. Skier, maybe because we're into the religious stuff. Maybe that's up Skier Doc's alley. I need you because it's not my alley. Skier Doc says, so she does scripture bingo and takes things out of context, misapplies them to herself, and uses them as a rationalization for doing her not. Yeah, that's exactly it. And here she goes again.
I can't remember exactly how he says it, but he's like, when you have something happen to you and it just feels like it's random, it's not random. Like this is intentional. You're it's not just some crazy.
Okay, nothing is happening to you. You are being punished as a result of your actions. This isn't something that's happening to you. You did this to yourself. She is insanely delusional.
Active events that's going on. This is like intentional. And that 1 Peter chapter 4 was another one of the footnotes to refer to, that reinforced all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, this isn't just some crazy, random event. This has purpose. And then I connected it to my blessing, because my blessing I've been reading like several times a day, and the blessing is pretty clear. The first paragraph.
What's your blessing?
Says, these are words directly to you from your Heavenly Father, and according to your faith and diligence, they'll either be a comfort to you or they won't be. So it's however much diligence and faith you want to put in them. And then the next paragraph talks about. It says,
I'm trying desperately to make sense of what she's saying here. I mean, in the beginning she was, but this one here, she's losing me on this one. Is it just me, or is this a lot of word salad? This one is confusing to me. So she connected this scripture point to her blessing, which I'm not exactly sure what that technically is. I don't know where she got the blessing, who gave her the blessing, where the blessing came from, but she's connecting the scripture quote to her blessing, which says it could be good or bad depending on how much her faith and diligence. I'm just very confused about what she's trying to say here, right?
you are a special spirit, chosen and reserved for these last days and sent forth to the earth in great clouds of glory to share the gospel and prepare the people for the return of the Savior.
That's right.
And it says,
Hallelujah.
one of the reasons you were sent here is to share the gospel.
Amen.
The strongest message you will ever teach is the power of your example. And then
It's true. You've led by example. You've shown us all that if you want to abuse children to the point of physical pain and mental anguish, you'll end up in jail, hopefully. She's chosen. Yeah, is it the end of days, Rachel? I didn't know. But again, like I said, I'm not particularly religious. So maybe some of my more religious friends can, I'm not asking for a lot, but maybe you could just give me a heads up when the end of days is coming. It'd just be nice. I'd like to get a couple things in before I go. Right? I didn't know it was coming. I didn't know. I guess when Jody is in jail, oh, wait. Clickety click, click. Because she's in jail, it's signaling to us the end of days. Get it? Now it's making sense.
says, through
Rachel, that's
your
it.
example in the spoken word, or no, he says, your tongue will be loosed, and you will be able to teach the gospel in far and distant nations.
Oh, nice.
And
She's
then
traveling.
It says, through the power of your example and the spoken word, you will be a great tool in the hand of the Lord in teaching the gospel to many. So this whole paragraph about an example, an example, an example, I'm like, well, what's a better example than to go to prison unjustly?
There you have it. What's a better example? What's a better example than to be thrown in prison unjustly? Unjust. She's still unjust. And again, can I actually ask, did I skip a part? Has she mentioned the children at all? Have either one of these runts talked for a millisecond about the effect they had on the kids, whether they think what they did was right or wrong? They can see the final product. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And then go teach the gospel. Go teach the gospel. Like, what do I plan on doing?
Yeah, go
During sentencing,
go teach it in jail, bitch, because that's where you're going. So that's the end of that.
called the abuse acts of love and even expressed sorrow for her family.
Meanwhile, Hilderbrand said during sentencing she genuinely loves the children and hopes they are able to heal. I'm Elizabeth Milner.
And I'm Sierra Gillespie.
So she genuinely loved those kids, you guys. She genuinely loves those children. Oh, Rio has had it. We got to cover some funnier stuff on here because this cat is going to permanently move under the blanket and never come out again. Should I try and get you a little better shot? That was icky, right? All that stuff tells me is that they couldn't be in a better place right now. Those two lovely ladies. I'm blown away by the pair of them. Jody, like, she needs a mental examination, right? I don't think that thinking near the Lord is generally thought of as sane. I could be wrong. But generally, when you start calling yourself the same as Christ, that, of course, I know religious people were created in his image, and that's fine, but we aren't actually him. Yeah, that ain't healthy behavior. I know we need the man. We need the man. He's been schlepping. He's been slacking on his duties as co-host lately. I got to tell you, we're going to go get the man. We need, Rio, we need a little palate cleanser in the form of your gorgeous face, my man. I know, baby. I know, Riri. Are you going to pop out for us? What are you doing? Why are you hiding in there? What you doing, handsome? Look. Look. Do you want to come to sit on your stool? The boy. You're not lit very well over there. Your ring light isn't on. Hang on, you guys. We'll get them lit up properly. Should help a little bit. Is that a little better? There's the man. There, now you know we'll do this. There he is. Oh, look at the man's face. Hi, Mr. Bo. We watched an amazing double bill last night in the Discord. It was The Shining and Misery. Two amazing movies. And in Misery, in one of the scenes where Annie goes off on Paul, she calls him Mr. Man. And the whole chat was like, oh my God, Mr. Man. And I thought, oh my God, is that where I got it from? Mr. Man. Hello, Mr. Face. What you doing? Are you going to come over on your stool? Come on over. And here he comes. There he is. This kitty is a Siamese. He's a Seal Point Siamese, and his birthday was last week. He's now 3? I think he's 3. You fell asleep and you missed Misery, Dan. I know. I tucked in about 3 of you last night. I tucked in Dan, and I tucked in... I want to say Ludi, but I don't think it was Ludi. I don't know. I tuck in people every night, but last night, Dan, you were one of the ones. Laney. I tucked in Laney. I don't know where his treats are. He wants treats, right? I don't know where they are, Bo. I think they're in the bedroom. I don't know where they are. Do you want love? Is that good enough? I don't know what we're going to watch tonight, but we'll watch something because it's Saturday night. I don't know what that means. It doesn't mean anything. It's Saturday night. It means literally nothing. We will watch something. Maybe at 8:30. Isn't he 4? Ella says. Yes. Is he? Ella? Is he? I got him in COVID. When did I have to ask when COVID started? He was born in quarantine. So that's how I know how old he is. He's 2020. Wasn't that 20? Oh my God, 4. Okay, you guys, you're all right. He was 4 last week. Dude, there's nothing in that drawer. You're ticking at that drawer. Thank you for correcting me. COVID lasted 2 years. Yeah, but he was born in quarantine. That's all we remember, is that he was born in quarantine. There he is. I'm not going to get treats for him right now. I don't care. He's very, very spoiled. He can do without treats for a minute. God, you're handsome. Look at you. Holy cow. You're just not fair to all the other cats, my handsome boy. I love him so much. Well, I think we'll call it a day. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I hate this angle. I'm sorry. Where did I get him? I bought him. He's not... Siamese cats aren't rescues very often. I bought him, but, I bought him after I lost a cat that my heart was shattered by losing. And somebody said to me, you know what? Sometimes you get to be the rescue. And I was like, wow, that's a nice way to look at it. So he rescued me. I'm Rio's rescue. Right? Yes, my love. And he's just the best boy. Bookworm's cat is spoiled too. I hope all cats are spoiled because they should be. As should we. We should all spoil each other. Let's work. So we'll go watch something in Discord tomorrow. Don't forget karaoke, and it's 80s themed karaoke. So I had a song ready. I had 2 songs ready, but one was 70s and one was 90s. So I had to rethink the whole thing. And hopefully tonight I'll have some time to get some practicing in. I don't know. The bull, look at him. I could just sit here and look at Rio for hours on end. Well, I do, but not on camera. Anyway, let's wrap it up. I need something to eat. Thank you all for joining me at this look tonight at, I was going to say at Amberlynn Reed. No, that's too boring. Here's the deal. I'll do some compilations, and if she does anything interesting, we'll react to it. But that's too boring. It's way too boring. You know, I'm not going to fight about stuff from a year ago that's not even true. It's ridiculous. Thank you all for joining me tonight and looking at Ruby Frankie. And for our next live stream, we'll look at something else that's crazy and fun. And remember TikTok Tuesdays, which I might change to Trainwreck Tuesdays. Because what if TikTok goes away? And it's the same thing, really, isn't it? TikTok, Trainwreck, same thing. Thank you all for joining me. I hope I see you in the Discord tonight. Come and hang out and stream something with us. Pura vida is correct, Ingeborg. Pura vida. Thank you all for your amazing support and kind words this week. I'd be lost without you. It's been, like I said, this stuff doesn't really get to me, but I am a human being, and it's been manageable with all your love and support. And like I said, thank you again for letting us hit 23,000 subscribers. God, I never would have ever. My mind is blown. Have a great night. Join us in the Discord, and we'll see you live. I'll put up some videos before Tuesday, but we'll definitely see you on a live stream on TikTok or Trainwreck Tuesday. Thanks. Have a great night from me and the man. Remember, just for the love of God, be kind. And hasta luego.